lucky time celebration. Freak out to the boogie of the grooving. Gotta get your moves on. Let yourself go crazy. Look out, there's a beast in your soul. You're out of control. It's an animal inside you. A little bit of dancing, a little romance, and now your time has come to party. It's a jiggle wiggle party. It's a jiggle wiggle wiggle. It's a jiggle wiggle Friday party, party now. It's a jiggle wiggle party. Oh, it's a jiggle wiggle wiggle. It's a jiggle wiggle Saturday night. You feel another happy hour coming on now. You're emancipated. Reach out to the rhythm of the music, pounding in your brain now. Got your soul insane, and you feel the heat coming on. You feel that someone, attraction's burning deep down in the middle of your soul. That's when you know your time has come to party. It's a jiggle wiggle party. It's a jiggle wiggle wiggle. It's a jiggle wiggle Friday party, party now. It's a jiggle wiggle party. Oh, it's a jiggle wiggle wiggle. It's a jiggle wiggle Saturday night party now. It's a jiggle wiggle party. Oh, it's a jiggle wiggle wiggle. It's a jiggle wiggle Saturday night party now. It's a jiggle wiggle party. Oh, it's a jiggle wiggle wiggle. It's a jiggle wiggle Saturday night. You feel the heat coming on. Feel that someone, attraction's burning deep down in the middle of your soul. That's when you know your time has come to party. It's a jiggle wiggle party. It's a jiggle wiggle wiggle. It's a jiggle wiggle Friday party, party now. It's a jiggle wiggle party. Oh, it's a jiggle wiggle wiggle. It's a jiggle wiggle Saturday night party now. It's a jiggle wiggle party. Oh, it's a jiggle wiggle wiggle. It's a jiggle wiggle Friday party, party now. It's a jiggle wiggle party. Oh, it's a jiggle wiggle wiggle. It's a jiggle wiggle Saturday night party now. It's a jiggle wiggle party. It's a jiggle wiggle wiggle. It's a jiggle wiggle Friday party, party now. It's a jiggle wiggle party. Oh, it's a jiggle wiggle wiggle. It's a jiggle wiggle Saturday night party now. It's a jiggle wiggle party. Oh, it's a jiggle wiggle wiggle. It's a jiggle wiggle Saturday night party now. It's a jiggle wiggle party. Oh, it's a jiggle wiggle wiggle. It's a jiggle wiggle Come on. Turn your radio up if you wanna get down. Life can be too serious, I'm saying. Let your hair fall down, get your mojo up. Ready to hit that dance floor and stop playing. You got feelings deep inside that you wanna let loose, yeah. Don't hold back 1 minute more. There's a world for you out there. Go! Whole world's rocking to the dance floor. Whole other world's flocking to the dance floor. Everybody's looking for loving, yeah, yeah. Whole world's rocking to the dance floor. Whole
Good morning, YouTube. Hey, it is Friday morning, end of the week, end of the month. New York session, the last one for August, and hopefully for this awful summer trading. Markets have been so slow, except for the occasional exception. Follow me for more pearls of wisdom. All right, we're not quite set up here, but let's do this anyway. Lights, camera, action. Good morning. Okay. As I said, I'm not quite set up yet. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of this setup while we're on here together. All right. Let's calm this down a little bit. Gonna get focused. We're gonna make some money today, right? That's what we're gonna do. That's what we tell ourselves at the beginning of every session. And this is another opportunity for us to be disciplined, professional traders, and to make some money as a byproduct of being disciplined and professional traders. All right, so first things first here. I got to figure out why I can't log into the broker over here. That is because I'm logged in somewhere else. So let's get logged out of it over here, and get the trading panel out of there, and get logged back in over here on the futures chart. That is where we're going to play today. Tono will be on, and he'll be calling out some spot trades. But let's get set up here and get our week finished out strong. All right, hang on here. Okay. All right, I get our team viewer up. Get it up over here. Pull in the MT4 charts. Get our password entered. All right, here we go. All right, get our 1 minute up. There we go. Get our 5 minutes squared away. There it is. Get our DXY and our 10-year yield charts up. Okay. All right. So let's see where we are. Let's get the Zoom room going. All right, let's get the sound shared with the Zoom room. Okay, let's bring the music down just a little bit to get our mix here. Let me know in the chat if that's too loud or too soft or whatever. I can't really hear the YouTube mix. I can see it. I can see the levels, but I can't hear them. I'm hearing them through my own system here. All right, we're going to make sure we've got the right chat room up. Here we go. All right, got to put the chat room up on the screen. Live chat overlay. All right, there's that. And now I want to make sure that we are sharing the right stream from the website. Pop that in over here. Go to live streams. Edit that. I said edit that. Okay. We are good to go. Okay, here we are. The VIX is at 14.56. That means we aren't expecting a lot of jitters in the market, a lot of volatility. It's the volatility index. And that is in, I guess you'd call it the normal range. It could be lower, but it could be higher. It's kind of the normal range where it's been. Now, the question is there going to be any good trading today? And that is a question. How about if I turn this light on? And that is a question because it is still summer trading. This is probably, hopefully, fingers crossed, the last day of bad trading this summer. It's been slow all of August. June was okay. July was a little slower. August was just the slowest month I think I've ever traded. There was one really good day, which was the day that Chair Powell spoke and announced that there would probably be rate cuts in September. Gold rocketed, and if you happen to be in on that trade, you did well. But other than that, at least during our sessions, it's either, there have been some movements, but they haven't been very tradable, et cetera, et cetera. You get the idea. But today is the end of the week, so typically Fridays are a little more volatile. There's a little more movement. Traders trying to take profit at the end of the week. It's the end of the month, same phenomenon. Traders trying to take profit at the end of the month. But then again, most of the market makers, the big players, haven't been very active this month. They've been on vacation and doing whatever they do in the month of August, and so they might not be around to take profits here at the end of the month. So we'll see. That's going to be what we're looking forward to today, is to find out. Looks like we've been bearish all night. Looks like we've been bearish all night. Prices come down from about 44.17 to 44.0708, which is kind of where we are right now. And let's start looking at where we are on the gold chart, as I was just mentioning. Well, let's look here at the dollar as long as we're here. The DXY, as you know, is a measure of the dollar against a basket of other currencies, of 7 other currencies. The highest weighted currency in that basket is the euro. And then we have over here, I'm going to really enjoy resetting my system after this week. It's been acting up a little bit. All right, let's, as long as we're looking at the charts here, let's change the webcam. Okay. All right, so we have the DXY. It looks like in Asia, it moved up a little bit. This is the 30-minute chart up here on the upper right. Then we flattened out between Asia and London. And in London, we came down for half the session and then came up for the other half of the session. And we're coming up here to where we are now at about 98.034. The dollar moves inversely to gold, so as the dollar's moving up, gold is usually moving down unless there's some other catalyst that's affecting the market at that time. Doesn't seem to be. We've been moving pretty sideways here for the last, I don't know, what is that? This is the 1 minute chart down here on the bottom right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. About the last 15 minutes or so, we've been moving sideways. Same with the 10-year yield. This is on the bottom left here is the 1 minute chart for that, and the on the upper left is the 30-minute chart. So you see we moved up through London and have kind of come down and flattened out for the last 30 minutes or whatever. All right, here we are with the 5-minute chart. Let's get rid of the indicators. So what we're looking at here is a chart with let's get rid of you don't have to pay attention to this box up here, this white box. This was the opening range for Asia. I'm going to extend that just so we can see if we come back into that range later on. Whoops. I think we're about right there. Going to extend that just a little bit further. Okay. So here we are. We're price is hovering right now on the daily pivot point, and right above that we have the weekly midpoint 4, the WM4. So since we did dip down below the daily pivot point twice recently, once at 3:30 a.m. New York time, and just prior to that back at 1:20 a.m. New York time. Both times it kind of bounced off of that daily pivot point and came back up. This time, starting right around 5:30 a.m., we came down below it, popped back up above it briefly, but weren't able to close. We're rejected down, came back down, and now it's trying to pop back up above it again. It was rejected here. This time it's been able to sustain it at least for about 10 minutes, 2 5-minute candles. Let's see if it continues to rise back above this level, or if it's going to be pushed down and we're going to continue the bearish, I almost don't want to call it momentum, it's been more like drifting. All right, so if we bring the indicators back on, well, let's just kind of look at our range here. If price stays below the daily pivot point, then our next pivot point is the DM2 right down here. And intraday, that is where sellers tend to take profit. So we'll get down here and maybe see a bounce. Depending on the downward momentum, that would be a bounce that would then come back around and continue downward, or a bounce that would kind of turn the market around today and start bringing us back up. Let's bring the indicators back on. What we're looking at here, I know it looks a little complicated when I bring the indicators back on, but there are only a couple of things you need to be concerned with. One is the trajectory of travel, which is marked by these 2 dotted blue lines on the upper and lower extremes of this channel. This is called a linear regression channel, and it has the solid blue line that runs right through the middle. That's showing us that we are in a downward trend. And you want to also pay attention to these horizontal green lines, which are support zones that that we have an indicator that is printing for us or marking for us, so we can see those without having to mark them ourselves. And the orange and the red horizontal lines, which are the resistances that the same indicator paints. You don't have to pay attention to any of the boxes. Those are, a little bit from my reference. If they become relevant to anything that we're trading, I will mention them. But, these blue squiggly lines, which are some moving averages, some swing highs and swing lows and so forth. I do like to pay attention to swing highs and swing lows when they're marked like this purple or violet or whatever you want to call it up here where it says swing high, and usually down here there'll be a swing low. There's a swing low right down here. We do pay attention to those on whatever time frame we're looking at. And we also pay attention to these horizontal rectangles. This red one up here that's called bear volume. That's what it sounds like. Price gets up here, it's going to encounter some bear volume and probably head down, at least for a little bit. And the same thing down here, bull volume. Price will at least stall at these areas before it continues to push down. And you see this one down here, this bull volume coincides with the DM2, where we already think that's going to happen because it's a pre-established pivot. All right, so whichever time frame we're looking at, that's what you want to pay attention to. This is the 5-minute chart, and here we are. This is the 1-minute chart, also in a downtrend. Pretty narrow bandwidth. We're looking at 34.08 and a half to 34.04, so just about a 4.5 pip range. That's a little too narrow to scalp within for my taste. Here's our MT4 charts, where we see we have the Renko over here on the far right. The Renko moves according to price, not according to time. So every little price movement you can see tick by up or down. If that thing is moving fast, then you know there's a lot of volume in the market. This is the 1 minute. In the middle, we have the 1-minute chart, which is the same as this one. It's just we look at it a little bit differently here, and we have an indicator that paints supply and demand zones, which act as support and resistance. But supply and demand is calculated a little bit differently. It's how many passive buyers or how many passive sellers are already collected in each of these areas. And they're a little thicker because the market makers stack their orders. So we'll come back to that when that becomes relevant to something we're trading. Here's the 5-minute chart down here and the 15-minute chart here. And then flip to the other MT4 screen. We have over here on the right the 15-minute chart. We see that we came down into a pretty big support zone, so we have some limitations to our downward travel here, which does indicate that maybe we're bouncing from here. This is a pretty strong candle, 15-minute candle. It's trying to come back up over the daily pivot point, but it's been rejected so far. We've only got 1 minute and 15 seconds left on this candle, so we'll see how the next one begins to form. Next to that, we have the hourly candle, and then the hourly chart. Then we have the 4-hour chart. Down here on the bottom left, we have the daily chart. So we can say yesterday was a very bullish day, but it came up into this red resistance zone and has come down since then. So we'll see where our direction of travel continues today. Looks like it's been rejected a little bit from the bottom. We'll see if it can continue pushing down. Looks like pushing up is going to be a little bit harder. But we'll see. We might have a catalyst today because we do have news. At 8:30, we have, come over to me, what do we have? At 8:30, we have gross domestic product month over month. And, oh no, sorry, that's Canada. The US, we have the core PCE, personal consumption. So that is a measure of inflation on the consumer. Typically CPI gets a little more attention because it is released earlier in the month, but PCE is an important measure. So if that differs wildly from what's projected, which is 0.3%, and that's what it was last month as well, then if that comes in and differs wildly, then it will move the market. If it comes in hotter than expected, it will drive gold down. If it comes in cooler than expected, it will drive gold up. It should. That's what you would think would happen. Occasionally, gold has a mind of its own and does whatever it's going to do. We just have to react to it and not get stuck on the wrong side. Okay, here in the middle we have our yen versus the dollar. The yen is a stand-in for gold here. It tends to move not perfectly in tandem the way gold futures and spot gold move, but directionally tends to move in the same direction. And then we have our FX trend display, which tells us the strength of any trend that we're in. And right now, it's not really telling us that we're doing much. It's pretty indecisive right now. All right, so that's kind of a trip around the block. That's where we are. And let's get our broker up. Move over to our futures chart. And see where the morning takes us. Okay, as long as we're getting settled in here. Let's do it for real. I might have to adjust my camera, so let's see. Might get a little slanted look here because my camera fell over last night. Is that good enough for now? Okay. I like to dim the lights. There we go. All right. We are settling in. All right, let's remind ourselves of what we're looking for here. We're looking for entries. I'm trying to take two types of trade. One is a break above a level. It does look like we're trying to break above the WM4 right now, which is right here. So we're trying to break above that. So that tells me, again, remember we were looking at the chart here and seeing how we had broken below this range that we were in a couple of times, below the daily pivot point. 1, 2. Let me get these things. Tried 1, 2, and we came down 3, and each time we've come back above the daily pivot point, and we're doing that again. So it has been kind of coming below the daily pivot point and not sustaining and going back up. This time it sustains longer. So I wonder if that means that we're just kind of in this downtrend like we were showing here with the regression channel. And we will come back down to the bottom of the channel again. And each time it does this, it will just get lower and lower. That is, if we continue this downtrend. But we're going to have the downtrend interrupted by news at 8:30. It is 7:50 right now. I'm going to set myself an alert before each 30-minute candle and before the COMEX open at 8:20. So the next alert is going to be at 7:59, then at 8:19, 8:29, 8:59, 9:29 for equities open at 9:30, the New York Stock Exchange, 9:59, and then if we're still around, 10:29 and 10:59. But that will depend on what the market has been showing us and how trades have gone prior to that. All right, so what are we looking for? I think we're going to be looking for trades. Let's move this from the Asia Open. Well, I guess I want to leave that there. I want to leave that Asia Open there, but I want to copy it. And I want to bring this down and make ourselves kind of a new rectangle here. So this is, let's say this is what we're looking for. We're looking for breaks above that and below this. Right, so let's call this in between there and no trade zone. Unless we're not going to originate any trades from the middle of this zone. Let's see how big this zone is. This is from 3413 to 3407, right? So we've got a good 6 pips here. That's enough to scalp within. And since price has been moving pretty smoothly through these pivots, hasn't been respecting them much, except I would say, well, even the daily pivot, I'm not sure that that's what's being respected here. It almost looks more like it's the channel that's being respected. Let's look at it on the 1 minute. Here's the rectangle that I just put in, so you see it looks wider here because we've zoomed into the 1 minute chart. So, you know, I guess it does get here a little bit and respected the daily pivot for a little while, but then just sailed right through it. So if we get up here to this bear volume, or up here to the top of this channel, and we begin to turn around, if other, if price action and other indicators line up, we might take a trade back down into this zone. Or if we push up through it, well, we might have to wait for it to get up above this swing high, but we'll see. We'll see what happens when we get to that point. Also, we are at the top of this channel here on the 1 minute, getting to the top of the channel here on the 5 minutes. So this could be, if we're respecting the channel, this could be where it turns around right now and comes back down. of 1 minute for the 8 o'clock candle. We'll start seeing some more volume come into the market now, but that's probably not going to do much. Traders are waiting for that 8:30 news, the consumer, the CPE. PCE. PCE is the Fed's preferred measure of inflation. So even though the CPI gets more attention, PCE is what the Fed really looks at, or at least assigns greater weight to. If it comes in as expected, then we might not see too much movement. That's probably already priced in. The market's pricing in about a 90% chance of the Fed cutting rates in September. Oh, so I got distracted when we were talking about, I got distracted by putting this new rectangle around price, or this new, I call it putting price in a box. All right, so we had that 8 o'clock. We're at 8:01 now, and really no movement in either direction on that. But as I said, so we're looking for a trade where we will come up and maybe hit the top of this channel like we are now and coming down. Although that's not a clean level. That's just that's respecting the channel, and that's fine. But we would say that respecting a level would be hitting a level that we've previously hit and bounced down. And that isn't here. That would be here. This level right up here on the 5-minute chart. You see it looks a little harder to hit from the 1-minute chart because we're respecting the channel here, but if we were to come up here, bounce off of this, then that would be what I call a clean level. If we were to push through that would also be pushing through a clean level, but I have this swing high to worry about right up here, so there isn't much room for me to kind of get confirmation that we are pushing up and then get into a trade that's just going to stall out, very shortly after I get into it. So probably wouldn't go that direction. But the types of trades or the types of entries that I look for, I call them leapers. Just an easy way to remember an acronym. So a leaper, you have a clean level. I had to make it level clean, so it would be the first letter of leapers. I couldn't come up with acronyms that I reversed the words. So we have the clean level, a real push either out of that clean level or back from that clean level into the zone we just came from. It has to be in the right session, so that means in the New York session. And in the New York session, we have a little bit of a higher chance of it pushing through a clean level rather than bouncing back down into a zone because there's more volume in the New York session. And it has to be a safe leash. What a safe leash means is when I'm trading futures, I have a very tight stop. I put my stop at only 12 ticks away from where my entry is. That is, to put it in pip terms, that is 1.2 pips. It is, very, very tight, very tight. 1 pip on so I call 1 pip on Forex $1 price movement. Some people refer to pips as a $10 price movement. That would be more of a tick on futures chart. So when we're trading Forex, we call 1 pip a $1 price movement. So 12 ticks is 1.2 or $1.20 price movement. That is very tight. Gold likes to move, You know, even when it's moving in your direction, it will kind of whipsaw back and forth a pip or two sometimes. So when I say a clean leash, I mean it has to show me that it can go at least 12 ticks in my direction without coming back and hitting my stop loss and knocking me out of the trade. So that's how I describe what the type of entry that I'm looking for. This does not describe necessarily the setup. We have a playbook with different setups, and we'll get into that more in September. But right now, I've just explained the two types of trades I'm looking for. They each have a name, but we'll come back to that another time. Oh, where did I put my Apple Pencil? Anybody know? There it is. All right. If you've been following me for a little while, you know that I like to journal by hand while I'm trading. One of the earliest tells that I'm getting anxious or agitated, or I shouldn't be trading, is that my handwriting gets sloppier than usual. Okay, so it does look like here on the 1 minute, we respected the top of the channel. When the 1 minute is driving price action, you know there's not a lot of volume in the market. But I guess it also did a bit, you know, just a little bit short of respecting the channel on the 5 minute. Let's see what that looks like on the 15 minute. On the 15 minute, we're still in an uptrend as far as the 15 minute is concerned. But we haven't been hitting this, you know, we came down, we haven't been hitting the bottom of the channel yet. So if the 15 minute is the one being respected, we still have a ways to come down here. Down to 3,400 or so, that psychological level. Maybe the DM2 here is where a logical place where the market would turn around. So it could be respecting the 15 minute, and it's just respecting this 1 minute channel on the way down, but overall respecting the 15 minute. So we'll see. Hard to tell. When we get that inflation reading, probably isn't going to move price, even if it's a bit different than what is expected. It probably isn't going to move price too much, you know, further outside of this channel. Probably just going to move it within here. We don't. The 15 minute is great for looking at market structure, but it is, you know, I'm trading futures off of a 10-second chart, so the 15-minute chart is just to be looked at for reference as far as I'm concerned. We have perfect parity here between the US dollar and gold over here on the right side of the screen. The FX blue relative currency strength, positive 3.9 for each of them, showing us no clear direction. We have about 54% of retail traders are long right now, 46% are short. That's usually a counter indicator, so, but there isn't enough of a difference there for the market makers to really care which direction they go and grab people's stop losses. Okay, getting some further downward movement here. Let's see what we're respecting. We've got the daily pivot right below us, right here on the 1 minute chart. We have hovered right around there, so we know there's a little chop right at that level. Let's see if there will be chop on the way down like there was on the way up. This is interesting. We see, although it's still pretty even, we see gold has gained a little strength over the dollar, 3.7 versus 3.5, which would indicate if gold is a little stronger, we should be moving slightly up, but we're coming down. Sliced right through the daily pivot. This was the pivot right there. So we had some chop all the way down here to the bottom of this range, but now we're coming through this range. We keep coming through here with some decisiveness, we might have a little trade here. Not if we're not logged into the broker, which seems to be the case right now. Okay, we're getting a little, we found some support here. It could just be a late reaction to the pivot. Does look that way over here on the 1 minute. There's the pivot right there. We pushed through it. We had some sell orders that pushed through it, but then it was met with passive buy orders. One minute for the COMEX Open at 8:20. Notice here on the 1 minute again, we have hit the bottom of the channel. Now it's also that daily pivot I said, right? But we've hit the bottom of this channel where we hit before, where it's come down here and found support. Right here around 737, 738. Same thing has happened here, pushing back up. Will we go to the top of the channel again before we come back down, or certainly before we get up there, that would be 10 candles, unless we move up quickly. News will hit before we get there. And if news diverges from what was predicted or what was expected, then we will see it move the market one direction or the other. Meanwhile, we just wait patiently for price to do something. Now, I don't like trading right on the news or even within the first minute or two after the news, and sometimes a bit longer depending on the impact of the news. Because even though price can be moving quickly in one direction, and it's very tempting to jump on that train, you can't do it if you're going to be using a stop loss. at least my tight stop loss, because with those movements, you also get a lot of whipsawing. You can be moving down 10 pips and it will whipsaw back 5 pips on you before turning back around and whipsawing down another 10 pips, you know, like the 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But that 1 step back can be pretty big, and it'll just wipe, you know. The other day I got wiped out twice in a row on 2 trades that I was trying to take with the news, even though, you know, it looked to me like I had a safe leash, but I did not. And so I'm adjusting my criteria. I've only been trading futures since April. I've been trading spot for a few years now, but futures is still a bit of a new beast to me. For the news. So these candles back up here have been pretty strong compared to the way it came down with these little blue candles, these little bearish candles. Little interference right here popped up on this WM4 and came down, but on the way up, just whoop, slice right through. So we have now hit a little resistance here. We see price moving down slightly here on the Renko. We hit this. This area right here. Is that Rock?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Rock,
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Are you giving instructions?
I was just explaining to whoever's watching on YouTube what we're doing, what's going on.
Nice.
Kind of narrating the stream of consciousness going through my head.
Nice.
We have news coming up in 7 minutes, 6 minutes, 40 seconds.
Right.
All right, what do we got? 2 minutes. 2 minutes for some news. Maybe things will move a little bit.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Let's maybe
Man can hope.
we'll stall the music here a little bit. We'll put on some Bloomberg maybe.
Yeah. Bloomberg is the ACDC of trading.
Right. Oh God, I saw something really funny on YouTube the other day. I gotta find it again. It was what ACDC sounds like to people who don't like ACDC, and it was really funny. I gotta say that.
Bloomberg Tech, every weekday, only on Bloomberg Television.
Asia is at the forefront
All right,
of some
1
of the
minute.
world's
1 minute
biggest
for the
stories.
news.
And we're here where the action starts in Sydney. And in Tokyo, get ahead as the global trading day begins.
I'll turn that up in just a minute.
Weekdays only on Bloomberg.
Can you hear it?
It's really low.
Really low. Okay.
Like you can't make out what they're saying.
The Middle East and Africa regions are home to some of the biggest deals and fastest growth in the world. Vibrant resources and high-yield investment opportunities abound. I'm Jemima Versace. Join me on Bloomberg Horizon's Middle East and Africa for the stories, newsmakers, and insights shaping the decisions of traders across this exciting region.
You had high levels of volatility.
There's still room to maneuver.
Reduce the opportunities
That allows you to increase significantly your net income.
Every
5,
trading day
4,
only on Bloomberg.
3, 2, 1.
Good morning. Welcome to Bloomberg Surveillance. We are just 20 seconds away from the all-important PCE data. And going into that, markets are a little bit softer on S&P 500 futures, treading water
Still
into this
nothing.
all-important data. Fed
Trade
Governor
balance,
Chris Waller
bad
told
for
us
dollar,
yesterday,
good for
look
gold.
through any tariff impact on inflation. He's squarely focused on the labor
PCE,
market.
can't see
And
that
yesterday,
yet, but it looks like
S&P
we're going
500
up.
hit an all-time high, fresh record high for that data that's just crossed. Let's get over to Mike McKee. Hey, Mike.
Good morning. Well, the data has not just crossed. It's coming over a little slowly this
we got
morning
it.
from the
PCE,
Bureau
as
of Economic
expected.
Analysis, but we're just getting this here. The personal income increased 0.4%. Personal consumption expenditures increased 0.5%, which are exactly what was expected. Now we've got the inflation numbers, and they are as expected. A 0.2 rise in the headline and a 0.3 rise in the core on a year-over-year basis. No change in the headline, 2.6%. And the PCE core index rounds to 2.9%.
We have a little bit of upward momentum for gold because the prints that did print different from expected, even though they weren't very important. We're not going to be impacting gold's price as much. They sent the dollar lower and gold a little bit higher, but we see that it didn't move it much higher, and now it's already starting to topple over a little bit and come back down. I would expect it to go a little bit higher before it comes back down, but it's probably just going to return to what it was doing before, which was a gentle downward movement.
84.9 billion in June. So a 7.1% increase in imports and a 0.1% decrease in exports.
Yeah, that was a quick,
Maybe we went back to the pre-tariff effort to bring in a lot of goods in July before the president put the final tariffs on.
Certainly does feel like that pull forward effect was happening when you look at some of these numbers. But when it comes to the PCE, Matt, no surprise here. All bang in line when it comes to the core PCE.
Yeah, all exactly in line. So it's all the more interesting that you see the 2-year yield had risen up before this number came out to 364.40, and now it's dropped down to 362.80. I feel like PCE, and Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, PCE is so much easier for economists to predict because you get the CPI and the PPI before that, so you know the inputs in your model can work out pretty seamlessly.
Yeah, a lot of this data comes in other releases, so economists are pretty much able to get it spot on. We don't know the income and spending levels necessarily, but in this case, everybody forecast right. One thing we can tell you is that most of the personal spending came in the autos category. Motor vehicles and parts were up by 34.9 billion. Financial services and insurance were also up. So at this point, it looks like these were some goods in cars, but for the most part, it looks like services, financial services, housing, food, healthcare, and other services. So the spending numbers we'll get at the in this report suggest maybe that people did cut back a little bit on spending on goods.
All right, Mike, thank you so much for that. Hopefully you could dig a little bit deeper into what's going into that PCE number. Now we're going to get a reaction from Ryan Wang, the U.S. economist at HSBC. So what do you make of this?
Yeah, well, as Michael said, the numbers are broadly in line with expectations. I still do think it's important that we're seeing that step up in the core PCE inflation rate up to 2.9%. The Fed has been projecting that it will reach at least a little bit above 3% at the end of this year. And that's very key. I mean, if we know that inflation is going to go up, and then we're hoping that inflation eventually begins to cool off after the full effect of tariffs comes through, it's still important to track these numbers every month.
How uncomfortable is it to actually see on your screen 2.9% for core PCE, yet at the same time pretty much knowing the Fed is going to cut interest rates next month?
Well, that's really the tricky part. I mean, inflation admittedly is much slower than it was just a few years ago. We're not getting those types of price increases. But at the end of the day, 3% is still not the Fed's 2% target. And this is why, although we do have some kind of consistency amongst the Fed policymakers, Fed Chair Jerome Powell saying that, yes, okay, tariffs are going to be a one-time effect, even if that one-time effect takes a year or multiple quarters to fully pass through. But still, we need to track the data, and I do think, if the Fed does cut rates by 25 basis points in September, it's still not going to necessarily mean a sequence of rate cuts, and that's largely because of these inflation numbers.
Chris Waller called underlying inflation close to 2%. I don't know if he's a statistician, but do you agree?
Well, I just think it's very tricky to get into this idea of just excluding the tariff effect and trying to look at inflation on that basis. So no. I mean, if we were talking about core inflation that was below 2.5%, okay, now we're talking about a range that's sort of within a few tenths. But when you see an inflation rate that's closer to 3%, and really it's the mix of inflation that's coming through, some of it has been, incremental increases in goods prices that are clearly related to tariffs, but some of it has been on the services side, and that's more structural. Of course, services inflation tends to run above goods inflation, and although we've seen some deceleration in rental inflation, the overall numbers are still adding up to what we see, 2.9.
By the way, we were talking about this with Dana Telsey just a moment ago. The administration has argued that these tariffs are just going to be a one-time price increase. But I keep wondering, because the tariff structure is so dragged out, doesn't that lead to incremental price increases over time?
Well, I think we're definitely going to see a mix. If you really talk to businesses, they're adopting different strategies. Some businesses passed the tariff straight through right away, but that wasn't the majority. The majority adopted other strategies, front-loading of inventory, selling down the pre-tariff inventory, and some have passed along a portion of those price increases, but not all of it. So I do think we're going to see an extended period where some products are affected by tariffs. Now, is that going to be enough to push the overall inflation number, let's say, to 3.5%, to 4%? I don't necessarily think we're going to get that high. I think more likely we're going to see this kind of sticky inflation close to 3%. We're looking for actually core inflation to still be above 2.5% at the end of next year. And so, again, there's this idea of a one-time effect, but that doesn't mean that one time is a short phenomenon.
By the way, they also wanted to average 2%, right? Yeah. And
all right, so we saw price push up, but we seem to have respected the top of the channel here on the 1 minute, and we're still above the top of the channel on the 5 minute, but it seems like the push might be dying out a little bit, and we might be toppling over and coming back down. Too early to tell so far. We could get a little more push to the top, maybe up to this swing high here on the 1 minute. But it looks like it might have petered out. We still have decent strength differential between gold and the dollar, with the dollar showing about twice as much strength as gold. But I'm sorry, with gold showing about twice as much strength as the dollar. But that isn't being reflected in price action right now. For the last 3 minutes, we've seen more bears in the market than bulls. Still no trades. We've been here for over an hour. Still nothing worth trading. Oh, actually, there was one trade that I let go by, which was back this way. No, this was it right here. Here to here. Sorry, this one, from here to here. This one, can't remember, maybe it was this one. Okay, so gold seems to be increasing in strength while the dollar is maintaining. So price action There it goes. It's starting to indicate that now. I just hear you get into a buy.
That was Mary, probably.
Yeah.
I did not. Yeah, I think she closed it already. So on the 1 minute, it looks like candles are getting a little smaller, a little smaller. We're seeing rejection from the top, and now we've turned around. So let's see if we get another bear candle after this one, or if it's just a little pause before pushing up further. Topping out here at the swing high, and price turns around, there could be a trade down, but I don't want to take that trade because it would be really counter-trending. And right now, gold is increasing in strength, and the dollar is pretty much maintaining. At least the strengthening in gold is outpacing the strengthening of the dollar. So it has more gas in the tank to go up. So I don't want to take that. I don't want to get into a sell here, even though price has just as much of a chance to come down. Maybe only slightly less. There just aren't bankable moves. Aren't moves where we have edge. Where I have edge. Okay, we are pushing up through that swing high on the 1 minute chart now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I made a couple of pips just on going with the trend.
Yeah.
Mary made 2 pips.
All right.
Crushing it.
You guys are doing better than me. I haven't taken a trade yet.
I mean, it's, yeah, what you're doing is more complex.
Yeah, but not as lucrative, apparently. Back below that swing high.
Seems to want to go up.
Yeah, it's pushing a little further up, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah.
my broker logged me out again. Nice.
No, Jesus.
Okay, so just waiting to get above this bear volume that we're hitting in right now. And then I think we have room to go. Resistance above that. Go back into the Asia opening range. It's going to be hard to trade up. We're in the Asia opening range. We've got a little resistance here on the 5-minute chart that I'm seeing here, and the 15-minute chart. And then right above that, we hit the DM3. And then right above that, we hit the high of the day. And I don't want to buy into the high of the day. Well, I think on futures I can do that. On spot, I don't want to do that. 1 minute for the 9 a.m. candle. Chop on the way up here. There's been that whipsawing back and forth, wicks on both sides. But here we go. Now we might be getting something. I'm in a buy.
Nice.
Probably gonna get stopped out. Damn it.
Yeah.
Come on back around, Gertrude. Got a lot more strength in gold than in the dollar, but it's whipsawing again. Bought right at the top of the Asia range, which now looking at that wasn't the best decision I've made this morning. It lets me out with a little bit. I think I'll just take it. Just took it. Now it's gonna go. But sometimes the train leaves the station without you. It was just acting too whipsawy for me, and I didn't want to stay in that and let it come back against me. So I got out with $10. Just better than a hot stick in the eye.
Yeah, $10 is better than nothing, Mike.
Yep. My dad used to give me $10 if I mowed the lawn.
There you go. I smell fresh grass.
That probably would have given me $30 had I stayed in it, but then it topped out and here it comes back down. So ultimately, getting out was the right decision. Getting in, to be honest, was the wrong decision because I got in right at the top of the Asia range.
Well, yeah. I don't have the the futures chart, the trading view chart, but I was looking at the MetaTrader when you got in, and I could see like verified resistance above, and I was like, I don't know if I should tell you if you need to be told.
Yeah, I saw that too on the 1 minute. I thought we were pushing up through it, and what was giving me confirmation was the well, I was looking at the 1 minute on TradingView and looking at the 10-second on TradingView, and both were showing me that they wanted to push up right through that area, and they had momentum on the previous two candles. So I thought it will get through that verified resistance. It's pretty small. I thought I'd get through it, but no, I was wrong, and I didn't pay attention to the fact that I was at the top of the Asia range. And had I seen that, that's what would have told me not to get in.
Right.
Sometimes you just take a glance around and you see everything that confirms your bias, and you miss the thing that doesn't.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, it's going down.
But count on me to make an idiot move. So that means that I kind of violated my own rule had I been, had I looked at everything. I did not have a clean level, or I didn't have a real push through a clean level, which also invalidates my safe leash rule. That was a nice push off the top there. That was the trade I should have taken right there. And sometimes when it gets to Friday, even though I think I slept well, I'm just not quite as sharp as I am on Mondays and Tuesdays. If I'm as sharp as a dull, rusty blade on Mondays and Tuesdays, by the time we get to Friday, I'm like a like a butter knife you find buried in your backyard for years, rusty. How was the vegan restaurant?
That's tonight, actually.
Oh, that's tonight? Nice.
Yeah, yeah. Excited.
You've been to this one before?
Many, many years ago. It used to be on 10th Street. And then they moved down to Downing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So. It's not a great time for vegan restaurants.
Yeah, I can.
It's the pushback from after COVID stuff.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Used to go to a restaurant called 10 Downing on 6th Avenue and Downing Street.
Right, the one on the corner.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Nothing has been able to like succeed since that place.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I've been in this neighborhood since I graduated high school, pretty much. I went away for college, but yeah, I've seen all the iterations.
Where did you go away to for college?
I went to state school, SUNY Plattsburgh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no big deal. But went to grad school down here, back in the city.
Nice.
Yes.
All right, we're back above the high of the Asian range, so maybe there's another trade here if we keep showing some upward momentum. We have a nice strength differential now between gold and the dollar, showing that we're still in this uptrend. We're seeing some nice volume delta on the bullish side. But we're pushing right up into the DM3, so everything I just said, forget about it.
Forget about it. Because the DM3 will, yeah. Still an upward trend, though.
Yeah, it wants to push through those areas. It does.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you know,
So for spot, it'll work out. If, you know.
Yeah, I
Even
wouldn't.
if
I wouldn't get into it if I were in a trade right now, and I would be
Right.
looking to get out of it at the DM3. But
Oh, for sure,
we
yeah.
kind of already tapped the DM3, so I would have tried to get out of it there. But it might retest that DM3. The reason I don't get into a futures trade right now is there's too little room to run between here and the DM3, and because we already tapped the DM3, it might not get back up there.
Yeah.
But if it does push through the DM3, then I would look to get into a buy just on the other side of it and take it up to the WR2.
Right. Yeah.
All right, so if you look here on the 1 minute, you see the wick that almost tapped the DM3, and then the next wick was a lower high, and then the next wick was a lower high. But now this one has come up and it has now made a higher high, and now we're tapping. So yep, we're tapping the DM3 again, and we might push through it. If we push through here with a little bit of momentum, that's a buy. Well, that's kind of a wishful thinking buy. Probably would work out for a pip or so, but I'm not going to get into that and ruin my week.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to.
At some point, it's got to. Yeah.
I don't want to risk $120 on that.
Sure.
Well, I don't know. It's feeling like a fairly safe bet, actually. Tapped me out. See? Ah!
Yeah, you didn't want to do that. That's a bummer, Mike.
Yep.
Francisco and Ava, right? Because it's not really anything now, right? Oh man, I have.
Do you see it going further up than this?
I took a sell.
Oh, no, yeah. But overall, do you think it'll
Hang on just a second here.
continue the upward trend? Nice.
Give me a little more. All right, I took the 100.
Yes.
All right.
There you go.
Do I think it's going to go up further? I don't know. I don't know.
That was a good revenge trade, Mike. That was a good revenge trade.
I don't take revenge trades anymore. But yes.
You showed futures.
I showed futures.
The future.
Yeah. No, that was a clean setup. That was a good setup.
Good.
So the reason I took that trade is I saw that we had stalled at this level here, which was a support. We had been stalling there for a little while, and as we broke below it, I was noticing that on the FX currency chart, the dollar was gaining strength. It went from 0.07 to positive 1.2, and I saw that gold was losing strength. It went from 7.3 to 6.5 or so. And so I saw, okay, that's we're weakening in gold. We're going to come down at least a pip or two, and so I entered a sell. All right, we have 1 minute for that 9:30. Let's see how stocks are doing. Pre-market. Nvidia down, Apple up, Microsoft, Google up. Wow, Google's healthy. 212. I bought Google at 167. It's at 212 now. That's good. I think it might be time to get out. Okay, we might be coming down for another little run down. Let's see if we get through this support.
Somebody called Trump America's fondling father.
If you ever watch Jimmy Kimmel at night, every night, every time he does a monologue, he has a new nickname for Trump. It's very funny.
Oh, I watch Jimmy Kimmel, like I watch his opening monologue on YouTube in the morning every day.
Oh yeah.
I love him. He's my favorite. He's my favorite talk show host.
Yeah.
I love Colbert. I think Colbert's old show was the best ever. The Colbert Report. Yeah, it was the sharpest show ever. But I think as a late night network, Jimmy Kimmel's my guy.
Yeah, I like him too.
This is going to go up, it looks like.
Looks like it wants to.
Yeah.
Into a resistance right now, and right above that is the WR2. So again, I'm not going to get into that. It's tapping the WR2 right now. Wants to push through. Is it going to do it? Okay, we are at the high of the day. Want a little bit. I'll just take that. That's all I wanted.
Nice.
Just wanted to get back into the green for the day. Could see that was going to go at least that half of a pip. Looks like stocks must be coming down. Let's look, yeah, a lot of gray and red. Almost no green on the stocks for the last 6 minutes. Pushing higher, pushing higher.
Wow.
Yeah, we have a little. Hey, just make sure we have green runway on the way up here.
Wow. This is going.
Wants to keep pushing. It's kind of creeping, but it, you know, the solid candles here on the 5-minute chart are encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. It's just creeping up there, but you know, I like what it's showing here. This time we got 3 minutes left on this 5-minute candle. Hitting this bear volume on the 10-second chart, so we're getting a little bit of a dip, but given the strength differential, probably turning around and going up. Waiting for it to break resistance on the Renko, and I'm in. Take that. Took 60 on that.
show you what does.
Really nice strength differential with gold right now. It's just it wants to push. It wants to push.
What's the?
Addie, come on. Hey, knock it off. She just wants to be on stream every day. Wants to say the same lines every day. Roof, roof, roof. Have you ever shared a scene with someone who was just the worst actor and you're like, oh my God?
So many.
Yeah.
I mean, so many. But I mean, a lot of times when I was coming up, I just saw so many flaws in what I did.
Yeah. Do you look back at some of your earlier
That's
stuff
a lot of
and
actors.
go like, oh no?
No, I mean, it's not even earlier stuff. A lot of actors are very critical of themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm a nobody, but even people like Marlon Brando, like when he watched On the Waterfront and he just left the theater. He couldn't take it.
Oh wow. Huh.
And he was like, all I saw was mistakes. All I saw was flaws.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. Does Mary act?
No, one is enough per household. There should be a rule.
Right.
Oh, that's a healthy looking candle up there.
Yeah, we might be going at this point. We might be going to the DR2, or I'm sorry, the DR1, which is at 3331.6.
Whoa. When was the last time it was up there? That's a while back.
3431.6. Yeah, it's been a while since it's been up here. Turned out that we're getting a nice run up, a nice movement here. Taking a couple of trades into it. I've been trepidatious about it just because I took that loss, and when my first, well, I guess it was my second trade, but that first trade I only took $10 on because I realized I'd gotten into it on a poor decision. But when you take that first loss, then you're just kind of like, if I can, without revenge trading, if I can just find the right setups and get myself back to green, then I'm kind of good calling it a day. because I don't want to, it's hard to count on more than 2 or 3 good trades in a day. And if you take those 2 or 3 good trades and they're just making up for a loss, then you kind of have to, once you make that back, at least I'm feeling like, okay, that's about all I can ask for in a day of trading, especially a summer day of trading.
Right. Yeah.
But now I'll sit here for, I'll sit here until 10:15 or so, and if I see an A+ setup, I will take it. But if it's not an A+ setup, I'm not going to take it.
Yeah. I mean, you're in the green, you're in the black, man. That's good.
Yeah. All right, we have about 6 minutes, just about 7 minutes to this 10 o'clock candle.
All right, we're getting a little push above here, above the high now.
Yep.
Says anybody who wants to take that, I think that's a fairly safe trade. Not financial advice. Do your own thing. I'm not going to take it because I am up for the day and the week, but not by a lot, and so I don't want to. I don't want to take a risk at this point. It's late in the day, and this isn't an A plus setup for me. This is like an A setup or an A minus setup.
Mm-hmm. Pushing up, man. Pushing up.
Yeah.
Wow. A lot of movement considering it's the last day of the month.
Yeah, that might be why. A lot of profit taking going on. People, although I don't know, this wouldn't really be profit taking. I would expect it to be going down if people were taking profits off the top. So this is.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. This is aggressive buyers coming into the market. Taking positions ahead of September. All right, 1 minute for the 10 o'clock candle.
Yeah, let's see where the 10 o'clock goes.
Likely going to push it up. That's the
Yeah,
direction of travel right now.
Yeah, it just seems that way.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 10 o'clock.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, now we got Delta Bear volume coming in.
serious delta of pair volume. That's going to come down.
Okay.
Patty, stop it.
Still going up.
Pick 100.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
That was an A+ setup there. All right, we are hitting the DR1 right now. So we are at this 3431 area. If we continue up from here, next stop is the DM4, and that is where I would probably think it's going to top out for the day. If it moves up beyond here, we are. Of course, this could also be the top.
Yeah. Yeah, that's 15 pips.
You got 15 pips today?
Yeah.
Good for you. Damn.
That's nothing. I think I could have easily made 20 pips. I've just screwed myself over with not hedging in the past. So I have these two gigantic trades open that are negative. Yeah.
Still, piling in pips like that. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. That is a good day. Trying to push above the DR1 now. There it
Oh,
goes.
nice.
Yeah. psych.
Yeah, saw that. Wow, there she goes again.
Yep. Yep, gonna try to do it again.
Dang.
We're into a resistance here on the hourly chart and the 15-minute chart on MT4. It's gonna have a little trouble pushing through there. It might do it. Might do it if we're on the way up to DM4. There it goes. There it goes. Pushing through.
Too bad Tono's not around to take advantage of this.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
doing what he's got to do, but
Yeah. Yeah, this is a very nice run up. Very nice run up to end the week. It's almost like normal trading came back a day early.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't really expecting this until Tuesday.
Right. Ah, yeah. Yeah, Mary was concerned too. She's like, my God, it's slow and tedious.
Yeah, yeah.
Because she hasn't really traded when it's been like this.
Mm.
You know, like she wasn't trading back in the spring and
Right. June was still okay. July it got slow, but was still better than August. August was just awful, except 1 or 2 days. And today.
yeah, that's when. Yeah, that's exactly when she started.
Yeah, yeah. All right, looks like we are going to hit this DM4.
Hit it.
If we surpass that, then we're going to the DR2 above that. But given how overextended we are, I would expect us to hit the DM4 and turn around for a little while at least.
Yeah. I'm at about 20 pips.
That's fantastic.
That's nuts. Is this where it decides to turn around?
Maybe it's taken a little dive right now. We didn't quite reach the DM4, but since those are zones and not perfect numbers, I have the DM4 at 3439, and we reached 3437.4. Some, that could be we turn around right here, but it also could just be taking a little breather and come back around and push right up there to the DM4, maybe wick through it a little bit and then turn around.
Right. Right.
Yeah, here it comes, back with a vengeance.
Here she comes. Well, might as well jump. Have you seen videos of David Lee Roth performing lately?
No, not lately.
They're very cringy.
Oh no. Okay.
He can't sing at all.
Oh no. That's too bad. Sammy Hagar could still sing.
Oh yeah, Sammy Hagar could sing, yeah.
I've seen him recently.
Oh, you have?
Not live. I've seen him on video recently.
Right, on yeah. He seems like a happy dude.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I was a big Van Halen fan, and then I was a big Van Hager fan. I liked them both.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I went as far as 5150, but that was pretty much it.
Yeah, 5150 was a good album. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good album.
OU812 really wasn't bad either. That was pretty good.
No, it wasn't bad. No.
All right, looks like it might topple over here.
Yeah.
Starting to see a lot more bears coming into the market.
Hey, it's heading down. Oh my God, it's been a straight up ride, like 26 pips or 20, actually almost 30 pips.
Yeah, that was a very nice rise. From 08 to 38, basically.
Wow.
Well, I guess you could really start it at 04. 04 to 38. Just in case anyone was trying to get into a sell there, they're going to pump it back up and take out your stops before coming back down. All right, this has been such a nice run up to end the month. That is an impressive run right there. On the 1 minute, looking at the 5 minute chart, we're still in it. Peaked here at 3437.38. Since then, the next 5 minute candle made a lower high, and now we're on this 5 minute candle that is making yet a lower high. So we might be petering out, but could also just spring right back up here and tap the DM4 a little more solidly before coming down. But since these pivots are not firm lines, they're actually zones, we could, that could already be considered having tapped that DM4. Now the question is, how long is it going to consolidate here before it decides what to do next? See, we're in a little consolidation zone already here on the 1 minute. So Rock, you are up over 20 pips today. That is fantastic. Hey E-Man, didn't know you were here. How you doing? You guys are both on mute, by the way. All right, fair enough.
Sorry, Mike. I was away from the laptop.
No worries. I saw.
Did you say something?
E-Man has been here lurking. I didn't know he was here. Good morning, E-Man.
Oh, I didn't either.
Yeah. Tono was asking about E-Man yesterday. He says, E-Man buys those houses, nice houses, really knows what he's doing. But when he buys one of those houses, he disappears for a while.
Yeah, right. You gotta go somewhere to spend all that money.
I know. All right, we're still making, here on the 5 minute, we're still making a lower high, but not as linear, not quite as diagonal down. This one might make a higher high. Hard to tell what it wants to do right now. It's in this consolidation zone where players are accumulating positions, but then we don't know if they're going to push it down or push it up further. The session is getting a little long in the tooth now. We are 2.5 minutes away from the 10:30 candle. and I never trade beyond 11 a.m. unless there is a news drop or an FOMC later in the day. Then I'll trade that. But otherwise, I have a hard stop at 11 or just a few minutes after 11, as per my rules. But if this just consolidates here and doesn't do anything at 10:30, I might call it a day at 10:30, 10:35. Ooh, here we go. We're getting another push up.
Push up. Yeah.
So on the 5 minute, we are now making a higher high. So we broke structure.
This is almost record territory.
Yeah, for closing, I'm trying to remember what our record high was. Somewhere around here. You know, we tapped 3,500 back in.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, but we didn't close there.
I think April or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't that back when it went up to?
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, I'm here.
Hey,
I was
you man.
on the other end of the house. Couldn't get to you, man.
Yeah.
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. Can't complain.
Good.
I had been trying to get on all week, but your link never would show up. So I had to go to an old email today to get on.
Oh yeah. I stopped sending those out. So yeah, we always use the same link in the morning, and we use a different link in the evening, but it's always the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the evening links are always the same. The morning links are always the same.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I every day this week I look. I was like, it don't come no more.
Oh, I'm sorry. People weren't coming on, and it seemed like everybody who wanted to get on already kind of knew the links, and I thought you had it, so I'm sorry.
Well, I thought it was coming automatically, but I just went to old. I just typed your name in, and an old one popped up.
Good.
But yeah, man, I just been busy, man. Sick a lot. Been in a lot of doctor visits. Yeah, like I said, I got diverticulitis, man. So I had to have CAT scans and all that stuff done.
Oh,
I got a CAT scan. Yeah, man, I've been to 1,000 doctor appointments, man. Between this and flipping this house, but this will be my last week flipping this house.
Oh,
so
good.
I'm about out.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah.
All right, looks like we're gonna tap the DM4.
As soon as I jumped out, now I want to move on up.
Huh. Yeah, this has been an incredible run up. It's been a really nice move.
I caught a few good pips. I missed the first 14 pips when it
Holy
like
crap!
17.
It just keeps going. Sorry.
Crazy. Tono ain't get on here today, huh?
No, I haven't seen him today. No. He was on last night, and he was gonna come on this morning, so he must have not slept well or had something else going on.
Yeah.
Or sometimes he'll just look at the London market and say, well, there was no movement, and so good chance there won't be any movement in New York, and he's usually right about that, but not today.
Not today, Tono. Not today.
Did y'all catch the first burst up when it came through 19? Said 19 up to about 20, 30.
Yeah, so I'm trading futures, so I'm taking shorter trades. So I caught some of it, but Rock has done really well today. He's at over 20 pips.
Mm.
There we
Hold
are.
on. I'll give you the grand number. I'm at 26 pips.
Wow.
Hey.
That's a day. And
Yeah.
you should call it a day and go have that nice long weekend and kick your feet up and feel
Yeah.
feel very self-satisfied. Here we are tapping the DM4. Are we going to go through it?
Yeah.
To the DR2?
Yeah. We're up where you want it. You thought it was going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, the dollar has just fallen through the floor. That's what's driving
Gee,
this.
wonder who's responsible. No, let's not. No. Nope, never mind. Terrible, terrible news. Terrible news. Good for me, bad for dollar. Suck it up, dollar.
All right, let's see. All right, so now we're coming off the DM4, getting a reaction to the downside from that. Question is the dollar done running down? I see the dollar. We're at a swing low here, but dollar doesn't.
Hey fellas, I gotta excuse myself right quick. I gotta get back over here to my house, man. Good to see y'all.
All right, good seeing you.
Okay,
man. Have a great weekend.
Same y'all.
Be well.
Right,
yes,
okay,
sir.
bye.
That's what I needed.
All right.
Man, I'm glad I stopped myself there.
All right, it wants to push through the DM4.
I see that. Damn. The sad thing is, this is a referendum on the economy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. The news wasn't that bad. The economic news wasn't that bad. And I don't know, I haven't seen any Trump posts come up this morning. Oh, yeah, here we go. Donald Trump, 18 minutes ago. What did he say?
Oh, he wants midterms. He wants a GOP convention. Yeah, it's pushing into the DM4. Okay, it is actually pushing.
Whoa, look at the VIX. The VIX has just rocketed up from,
Let me see.
we were at 14.5, has shot up.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me go back and look at the news. And, you know, we were listening to Bloomberg at the time, and
Mm-hmm.
the analysis was not, you know, wasn't in line with, oh my God, the sky's falling.
Right.
No, I don't think that the news today is driving this, unless there's something going on, you know, geopolitically that I have missed. But let me check.
If you ask me, I don't know how accurately these people are reporting things.
Yeah, but I subscribe to a couple European newspapers.
Uh-huh. And you're not seeing any alarming.
I haven't yet, but I'm just kind of flipping through them now.
Uh-huh. I think finally it is getting pushed down a little bit here. Doesn't really want to go down.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. Now it seems to be slowing down.
Yeah, I think we're
Yeah.
heading into 11 o'clock here, and it might consolidate around here or gently fall a little bit, but I guess we will see.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
I didn't say anything. There we go, some graphs. Whoa. Still wanting to go up. Still want to go up. Damn. Wow. Wow, it is still going up. No. Wow. Okay. O'clock candle and nothing.
Irony of this, I make 100 pips, and now I'm down 7.
Oh my God. Okay. You just got to hold on there.
Now I get it, man. Don't kick back to the market.
Yeah.
All right, I think I got to call it for the day.
Yeah. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Cool. Yeah. I hear you, man. You did good today.
I did all right. You sounds like you did amazing.
Yeah, I did all right. Yeah, I mean, it's just the market was given, as Tono would say.
Yeah. All right. Well, have a great weekend.
All right, man.
Enjoy the restaurant.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
We'll talk Monday.
All right.
Tuesday, sorry.
Yep,
Yeah.
Tuesday.
All right,
Have
see
a
ya.
great long weekend. See you then. All right.
Bye.
the Zoom meeting here. There we go. All right, YouTube. I will see you on Tuesday morning, bright and early, 7:30 a.m., probably 7:20 a.m. We'll get started, start doing the analysis. And hope you have a great weekend. Let's see what happens here with gold. I don't know if you're going to stay in the market. I think things are going to settle down a little bit. If it keeps going up, you're probably good until the DR2 or so, which is right around 34.46. If it pushes through that, then the MM4 is at 34.49, and I would imagine that that would be the tippy top of the market if it has any strength in it left at all today. But traders are probably starting to check out now. The market makers are probably slowing things down. Anyway, none of that is financial advice. That is just a little bit of market structure that I'm looking at and where the pivots are. So take that, for what it's worth, with a little grain of salt. Have a great weekend. Whatever you're doing this weekend, it is Labor Day. It is the end of summer, the unofficial end of summer. So really hanging out with you today. Hope you have a great weekend. As I said, I'm just getting repetitive. I'll catch you on Tuesday morning. Bye-bye.